Hey people, Kate's Link here. How are we doing? So, we're going to be looking at this guy, the new Deathwing Terminator from the Dark Angels, Baraqiel. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Baraqiel. We're going to go with Barrett anyway. You know my pronunciations are like. Um, but, yeah, I've got mixed feelings about this guy. I do, as the title says, I find him underwhelming. Um, but we'll go through the reasons why. There is a couple of good things to this guy. He looks amazing for one. That's one thing. But his traits. So again, it looks amazing, that picture there. So the crushing strike. Unit deals plus 50% damage with normal melee attacks if he's not moved his turn, which is great for this kind of character. Deep strike, he really needs it because he's a Terminator, so he can only move two. So he really needs a deep strike to kind of position him in the right place on a battlefield. Terminator armor goes to show really with what he's wearing. And he is a Deathwing Terminator, so he's bound to have the armor. So again, as normal, each hit turn against characters minus 75% damage, but obviously it excludes the psychic and direct damage. And the other strange trait which this guy has is heavy weapons. So when the unit's not moved this turn, it deals plus 25% ranged damage with normal attacks and abilities. Now, he hasn't got a ranged weapon per se, which we'll go through shortly. So I did find out a bit of a strange trait for this guy. But let's have a look why and where it is. So it's plasma cannon. This is his ranged attack. It's not kind of built in, it's an ability. So at level 30 he deals 3 times so much plasma damage to an enemy within 3 hexes and up to 2 enemy units behind the target. So it's a pretty kind of splatter kind of attack. The ability can be used multiple times per battle, but it has a 1 round cooldown. So just bear that in mind. Normal 5 rounds, I'm going to be using it 2-3 times. So just bear that in mind. And as it kind of ranks up, the plasma damage is pretty decent. And the other side to him is the Deathwing. So when he blocks damage during an attack, or further incoming damage is reduced by so much depending on the level. And the damage deals by melee by the cannon attacks is increased also for 1 round. This effect is doubled against chaos enemies or when standing adjacent to another friendly Dark Angel. And this is what kind of makes this character, and he makes him into like a tank. It is, when I did test him out a bit, situational, because you've got to rely on the kind of block. So you've got to make sure your gear's up, you've got decent gear to kind of get the block. And it's very RNG, I found, with that kind of trait. Do you know what I mean? There was times where I didn't get a block for like 1 or 2 rounds. So when you're relying on a block to come in, which is very RNG, it kind of dilutes the skill or ability, I think. Because it's like if you're rolling dice, you're searching for 6s, and that's what it kind of felt like with this. You're rolling dice with this guy and you're searching for 6s to get that block. That's how it felt for me. He has got great armor and health, obviously movement 2, and he just has the melee, which times 3 of the power. But obviously you've got the plasma damage as well from his ranged. At legendary, yeah, he's a beefed up guy if you can get him maxed. In fact, his health's like over 10,000. I think that's probably in one of the top 3 healths. I think Typhus is one. Angrax could be another, or is he armor? Angrax could be armor. Yeah, so he's quite high up there for health and armor. I'd say definitely in the top 3 or 4 characters out there. And his damage ain't too bad as well, to be fair. But again, he's a Terminator, so he can only move 2. So let's have a look at this guy in action. It's just a quick video really showing what he's all about, this guy. As you can see there, I'm kind of taking on the attack there by Abaddon. I can't remember his name then. So we're going to go for the shoot, getting some blocks in. I was lucky there, and then we can just see if I pause it where we can check there. You can just see I've kind of screenshot it out, but that shows that it's got level 1 because it kind of does stack to a degree. It's really hard with two turns left. Any incoming damage reduced by 150, and then obviously he's doing 150 damage back. So the more levels you've got on that, the better damage you're going to be putting back with the melee or even plasma cannon, and also the kind of defense back as well. So I just found it really difficult, A, to kind of get them blocks, and B, to stack them. Very rare to get, like, I think I got it once, 3 times. But anyway, we're going to see the plasma cannon shoot out. Bang, there you go. And it's a decent hit. It's a really decent hit back. It kills Ross with her. I mean, she was on the barbed wire anyway, so she's going to get herself killed. But it did do good, decent damage back. And then we're just kind of displaying really just how much of a tank and how much damage you can take. It's kind of beefed up area, like level 1 with 2 turns. And that's what I felt like. It just felt like it was very much kind of blocking once, possibly twice. Very rare to get him up to that turn. Well, second time anyway. Now we're looking at the avatar. I kind of did a bit of testing just to see what he was like, really. I think out of all the guild bosses, I wouldn't even take him to avatar myself, but I think if you're early to the game and you get this guy straight on as an early kind of mid kind of player, I think if you've got this guy, he could kind of do well as a tank against the avatar. I kind of tested him there and kind of put him, making sure he was kind of protecting everyone around him, getting in the face, trying to stop him from moving around. I think that's where this guy has his uses against the boss. But purely, I would only say this boss. I wouldn't think any other bosses. I won't really take him, depending on your roster. And depends if you like the Dark Angels. I always say, do you know what I mean? It's my opinion. But if you're a massive Dark Angels fan and you love this character, who's stopping you to take him out? Do you know what I mean? You get this guy ranked up and play it. This is a game at the end of the day. You play with what characters you want. But I just feel, as the game is getting bigger, we are getting more characters into the mix. It's coming to a stage where you can only take 5. So the more characters that are being added for you to pick from, certain characters are going to be in the shadows, and I just feel this guy eventually will just be one of them that will just drop further and further down the field, and you'll kind of forget that he's there in your roster. So, 1 turn, 1 punch. As I've said before, it's just a bit of fun. Please don't take this as a tier list or kind of a metric, is the word I'm after, to kind of pick your favourite character, who to take out. This is just purely a bit of fun. And I was quite surprised, to be fair, with this guy. He did hit some decent hits. As a kind of like a first turn 1 punch, but again, there's a lot of better hitters out there. This guy isn't built for kind of getting that 1 punch in at the start and killing the character straight off. He's built for blocking. He's built for, like a Terminator should be, he's built to stand there, take it all on and protect your team, while at the same time he can do a bit of a good punch back when needed. But yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. He sits in 3rd place at the moment, just above Ascor and below Mesa and Khan. But do you know what I mean? They are just crazy damage dealers. So this character isn't a damage dealer, so it doesn't surprise me. So all in all, like I say, he's not probably the worst character out there. If you're new to the game and you get him, then he's going to probably do you well in certain parts. But I just found him, probably boring is the wrong word to use, but it was just underwhelming. I was literally just trying to find uses for him, and I don't think you should be trying to find with a character like that. If you're a big Dark Angels fan, do you know what I mean? He's going to be right up your street. But for me, I'm not excited. I'm lucky that I've got a great roster to pick from, and I don't think at this moment in time I'll be putting much time in to rank this guy up, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this guy? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something you think, do you know what, this guy could do well here? Please let me know anyway in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Take care. Bye-bye.